Agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion by Sandy. Is there a second? Second, Lauren. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nobody indicated that they wanted to speak. So the next item is the Jordan Pride Awards. We have 3 of them, and I will have Superintendent Evenson start.
So good evening, Jordan School Board. I'm really proud of this portion of the meeting. In November, I received communication from MSBA that some of our board members had gone above and beyond with their training components. Lauren Pedersen is one of our board directors who will be receiving recognition at the MSBA conference. She completed 100 or more hours of attendance in MSBA and NSBA sponsored meetings and activities within a 4-year period of time. That's exceptional. So congratulations on that. They'll be honoring you at MSBA, and we have a certificate here for you as well. Yeah, congrats.
Oh, I can take a picture.
Additionally, I had some really great news as well about 2 of our other board members. Molly Maniak and Sarah Lanin have completed the MSBA Leadership Development Program, which has been accomplished. There was 4 series of professional development events that they completed, and it really just helps everybody be better rounded board members, especially when you're new in that role, and we appreciate it a ton. Congratulations.
Oh, don't you want a picture?
Oh, get a nice picture. Yes. It's exciting.
Okay, next order of business is the organization of the board. You should all have that in front of you. Typically what we do, Sarah and Molly, maybe don't remember from last year because we put brand new. But we go around, I think it's important that we
go around and review what our role as board members are. So, we have it up on the board. So we'll just round robin and go through and read these. It's the organization of the board, general statement of policy. Each school board member shall follow the code of ethics as stated in policy 209. As a member of the school board, I will attend school board meetings.
Come to the meetings prepared for discussion of the agenda items.
Listen to the opinions and views of others, including but not limited to other school board members, administration, staff, students, and community members.
be primarily motivated by a desire to provide the best possible education for the students of my school district.
Inform myself about the proper duties and functions of a school board member.
In performing the proper functions of a school board member, I will focus on education policy as much as possible.
Remember, my responsibility is to set policy, not to implement policy.
Consider myself the trustee of public education and do my best to protect, preserve, and advance its values. Recognize that my responsibility exercised through the actions of the school board as a whole is to see that the schools are properly run, not to run them myself.
Work through the superintendent, not over or around the superintendent.
Delegate the implementation of school board decisions
To maintain relations with other members of the school board, I will respect the rights of others to have and express opinions.
Recognize the authority rests with the school board in legal session, not with the individual members of the school board, except as authorized by law.
Make no disparaging remarks in or out of school board meetings about other members of the school board or their opinions.
Keep an open mind about how I will vote on any constitutional issue until the board has met and fully discussed it.
Make decisions by voting in a school board meeting after all sides of a debatable questions have been presented.
Insist that committees be appointed to serve only in an advisory capacity to the school board.
In meeting my responsibilities to my community, I will attempt to appraise and plan for both the present and future educational needs of the school district and community.
Attempt to obtain adequate financial support for the school district's programs.
Insist that the business transactions of the school district be ethical and open.
Strive to uphold my responsibilities and accountability to the taxpayers in my school district.
Working with the superintendent of schools and staff, I will hold the superintendent responsible for the administration of the school district.
Give the superintendent authority connected with his or her responsibilities.
Assure that the school district will be administered by the best professional personnel available.
Consider the recommendation of the superintendent in hiring all employees.
Participate in school board action after considering the recommendation of the superintendent and only after the superintendent has furnished adequate information supporting the recommendation.
Insist the superintendent keep the school board adequately informed at all times.
Offer the superintendent counsel and advice.
Recognize the status of the superintendent as chief executive officer and a non-voting ex officio member of the school board.
Refer all complaints to the proper administrative officer or insist that they be presented in writing to the whole school board for proper referral according to the chain of command.
Present any personal criticisms of employees to the superintendent.
Provide support for the superintendent and employees of the school district so they may perform their proper functions on a professional level.
In fulfilling my legal obligations as a school board member, I will comply with all federal, state, and local laws relating to my work as a school board member.
Comply with all school district policies as adopted by the school board.
Abide by all rules and regulations as promulgated by the Minnesota Department of Education and other state and federal agencies with jurisdiction over school districts.
Recognize that the school district business may be legally transacted only in an open meeting at the school board.
Avoid conflicts of interest and refrain from meeting at school board positions for personal gain.
Take no private action that will compromise the school board or administration.
Guard the confidentiality of information that is protected under applicable law.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important that we review that every year and just remind ourselves of what our role is supposed to be as a board member. So the next item is the election of officers. So at this time, nominations are now in order for the office of chair. Before I do that, I just want to state that our board has 4 officers. We have a chair, a vice chair, a clerk, and a treasurer. Some districts don't have a vice chair, but we do. So I'm glad we do. So with that, nominations are now in order for the office of chair.
I would nominate Deb Pauley.
I would second.
Okay,
Do we need seconds?
we don't need seconds
Okay.
for nominations.
Can I third?
Yeah. Are there any other nominations? Anybody else want to do it? Any other nominations? Calling a third time, are there any other nominations? If not, nominations for the office of chair are closed. And since I'm the only candidate nominated for the office of chair, I hereby declare myself, that's weird, elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. So now we will, nominations are in order for the office of vice chair. Sandy?
I nominate Ryan Dennett.
Okay, we have Brian Daynard. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, since Ryan Dannert is the only candidate nominated for the office of vice chair, I hereby declare him elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. I will now take nominations for the office of clerk. Thank you. Ditto. Are there other nominations for clerk? Are there other nominations for clerk? Calling a third time, are there any other nominations for clerk? Hearing none, Sandy Burke is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. So now we are on the treasurer. I will accept nominations for the office of treasurer. Okay, are there any other nominations? Calling the second time, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, Connie Hennon is the only candidate nominated for the office of treasurer, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. Thank you all. We have a slate of officers. Okay, let's see, the next item is committee assignments. Now, I know I sent out an email to all of you asking if you, well, what is the order?
It's good, I mean, I don't.
Is that the next order on there? Okay, we can do establishments. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so for establishments, I think we can do this whole section in one,
I think we can.
one vote, unless somebody wants to pull something. So the treasurer's bond is set at 100,000. Our depositories, who we do banking with, is Franson Bank, Riverland Bank, Midslaff, Hometown Bank, Minnesota Trust. And then our newspaper is the Jordan Independent for our legal work. And our investment authority lies with our, that should be superintendent. Was there a slash in there? Yeah, there
Yes.
is. Superintendent and finance director. Our meeting day and time is set for the second Monday at 6:30 and the fourth Monday at 6:30. And that's unless there's a conflict with a legal holiday. And then we can change that by, at a board meeting by a vote. And our legal counsel, I believe we'll be continuing to use Ratwick, Rozak, and Maloney. Is there anybody else that we've used? I know there's an asterisk that, sometimes if there's an amicus brief or if there's a certain student issue that deals with a different attorney firm, legal counsel, that it gives the superintendent the authority to use another legal counsel if we have to. And then the legal counsel authorized contacts is obviously our superintendent, and typically is the superintendent and the board chair. And that is it. And I know there may have been times where you have had to use principals, but that would be only under,
That's only as authorized and
with you on there with them.
and references.
Yeah, the director's the same. If there's ever something that you feel that we need to address with legal counsel, you can, we do it together.
You need a motion for this?
For the whole thing, yes.
Okay, I will make a motion for that.
Okay.
Unless there's any other discussion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the establishments as delineated. Is there any questions or comments or?
I have a question on the newspaper and
Yep.
is the state still using Jordan as well? To my knowledge, they are.
They might be meeting tonight. I'm not sure when their meeting is, but they did last year.
Okay, and then isn't the city looking or moving to the second and the fifth? Yep. Okay, just wanted to know that.
Also, the Belle Plaine Independent is no longer in business.
Yeah.
I think that was a
Yeah.
discussed alternative.
It is, it was.
There was so much content, so much school support, it was so much student support that.
Lauren, were you suggesting that we move our meeting to a different date and time?
No,
Okay.
I'm not making.
Yeah, I would rather keep it
I'm
how we
not
have it.
making any suggestion, I just wanted to make sure that we were.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion. I don't believe we had a second yet, did we?
I'll second.
Okay, Ryan seconds. Any good questions? Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, board member compensation, 2,500 for members, an additional 500 for chairperson, 300 for vice chair, 300 for clerk, and 300 for treasurer. And for meetings that are less than 4 hours, 125. Meetings that are greater than 4 hours, 225. So any discussion or thoughts or questions? On that? We haven't changed that in
It's been about 10 years.
about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're like the lowest
we are very low. Mhm.
from a school district perspective as well.
Mhm.
And I'm not suggesting.
Yeah.
No.
But I think it is, good point, Lauren, it is important to note for the public that we are one of the lowest. I mean, there's literally districts where they make 15, 20, the bigger districts.
Yeah.
So,
I will move to approve the board member compensation as listed.
okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Molly, thank you. All those, any further discussion?
I just want to make it a point for the public too, is very rarely is there people putting money in for their meetings. And I think mileage is due to anyone to turn their mileage in, but very rarely do I see anybody putting their time in. So I think the general public needs to know that from the standpoint of our group, we are working for the good of the kids, and our money is going for that. So I just wanted that to be noted.
Thanks, Connie, good point. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Now committee assignments. I had sent an email out to you, and most of you had indicated you wanted to stay on the committees you were on, but we'll have one last opening it up here if anybody does want a last minute change to something else or be on a different committee. I think that the committee assignments are pretty good fits for the skills that each of you have on the committees, so. Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the committee assignments.
So moved.
Ryan, is there a second?
I'll second.
Connie, seconds. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Board calendar. You all have that in front of you. So these are the dates that are set for our 2022 calendar. There is one that we can discuss if we want to. Columbus Day is an optional.
Yeah, we've got the director, the district delegates authority to make.
Oh,
fun.
sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. The district delegates authority to make electronic fund transfers to the district's finance director.
I'll move.
Sandy moves. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Ryan seconds. Discussion or questions about what that means? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now on to the board calendar, right?
Hope wasn't going to move the screen until we did it. She was just sitting there.
So the dates are set. Columbus Day meeting is set for 10/10, which is a Tuesday. We can leave it at that, but that is one legal holiday that school boards can vote to change to the Monday of, which is considered the legal Columbus Day. So I guess it's up to you guys if you want to leave it as we have printed here, the 10th, or if you want to move it to the Monday, keeping in line with the Mondays.
Is that that's the only holiday that we
That's
have
the
that lands us
only
conflict?
day that we have the leverage to do that. Every other legal holiday, we have no choice. And this is an election year, so because it's an election year with caucuses and primaries and, regular elections and stuff, there's a lot more, those dates obviously are conflicting dates, but I don't think any of our meetings fell on any of them, so. Not so far, but we have to just be very careful about committee meetings and stuff like that not falling on those dates.
Good point.
So, any thoughts on leaving it the 10th, or do you want to switch it to the 9th?
I like it on the ninth, just because we get in the routine and those dates are set, those numbers are set, so I would like, or go back to the ninth if that's based on those kind of.
Okay, what is everybody? Oh, okay. Is that why it's highlighted? Yeah, you're right. You're right. The 10th is, the 10th is.
I think we have it listed as a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think we keep it. Yeah.
Prefer to keep it? Okay. Keep it?
Yep.
That's not a holiday, right, like the school is in
School is in session.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's not like we would be going on holiday.
Right.
Okay. So then as this is published or printed, then, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the board calendar for 2022. Lauren, is there a second?
Second?
Second. Sarah, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. In front of you, you have confidentiality and conflict of interest acknowledgement and disclosure form. This is an annual form. If you could fill it out and leave it on the table here for either Hope or Jamie or Renee. If you have any conflicts, you have to, delineate those in the area up there and then sign and date it. Okay, consent agenda. We have the minutes from the December 13th regular meeting and Truth and Taxation meeting. We have the finance reports from January. We have a new hire of Jamie Fremming. Congratulations. And a resignation of elementary school paraprofessional Tiffany Valley. So I will entertain a motion to approve consent items. Lauren, is there a second?
Second.
Sandy seconds. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have one action item, and that is to review and act on the 21-23 paraprofessional contract. Superintendent Evenson.
Chair Polly, members of the board, we recently reached an agreement with our paraprofessionals for the 2021-2023 school years. I want to say thank you to Chair Polly, Ryan Dainert, Lauren Pedersen for the time that they spent, working with the paraprofessionals and district staff to come to this agreement. Just to highlight some of the things that I think are most special about this agreement, we were able to take a look at the structure of how we compensate our paraprofessionals. We were able to clean up some language things within the agreement, as well as put some funds towards insurance compensation packages, and that was something that was important, as well as salaries. I think all of you are aware of, some of the challenges that we have with, keeping, attracting, retaining employees within those positions, and I really feel good. We have a fair agreement moving forward. The biggest change would be structurally how we compensate our paraprofessionals. Part of that is there were some language components that sunsetted after this previous agreement, removing one salary schedule. We're down to a singular salary schedule that has 3 tracks. Within the first track of the salary schedule, that would be for para educators that have no advanced training or haven't taken the Parapro yet. And then the second track recognizes that highly qualified factor, so they've maybe passed a Parapro or maybe they have a 2-year degree as well. And then the third track recognizes our paraprofessionals that have 4-year degrees. And so that's a really nice progressive move for our district. The firsthand knowledge that I have from paras is they're really excited about the agreement moving forward and appreciative of the compensation as well as the recognition for education and training that they have participated in, and also making that adjustment on the insurance is helpful as well. So the agreement is as presented, and I'd entertain any questions that you have.
I don't know that I have anything else to add. I would just, it was, it can be a challenging position given the market dynamics. So we took that into consideration. I think it's a great agreement for everybody.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the paraprofessional contract track for 21 through 23.
Motion to approve.
Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Molly seconds. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, board and administrative reports. We don't have administrative reports. Any board members have anything they want to add?
Yeah.
Okay, with that,
Motion to adjourn.
okay, we are adjourned.
Wow.